You're here because you don't have the time or the money to read the Avatar The Last Airbender comics. I get it, shit's expensive. So I'll spare you any boring introductions and just tell you what is happening in Comic 1, The Promise. The story kicks off immediately after the end of the show, even including a direct transition from the show's final scene. It's been a few weeks at best since Zuko has become Fire Lord, but the stress is already getting to him. Because of that, he makes Aang promise that he'll end him in case he's ever at risk of turning into a tyrant like his father. Yet currently there's no sign of that ever happening. Now that the war is over, Zuko and Aang plan to restore harmony among the nations under the banner of the lazily named Harmony Restoration Movement. To be more precise, the countless Fire Nation colonies that still exist in the Earth Kingdom are set to be disbanded. All citizens forced to move back to the Fire Nation. Understandably, the Fire Nation citizens are anything but happy with the decision, since their families have been living there for a century. Given how quick-tempered the Heartmen are, the people make sure to let Zuko know how disappointed and betrayed they feel because of him destroying their lives. And them comparing him to Ozai certainly does not help. Gaslighted by the people and his father, Zuko comes to sternly believe he must protect his people by scrapping all plans for the Harmony Restoration Movement. Simultaneously, he's getting super paranoid and so on, up to the point that Mai has enough and leaves him. As a reaction to Zuko's withdrawal, the Earth King has like a midlife crisis, being convinced now's the best time to show that he's not the weakling everyone takes him for. So he sends out his soldiers to forcefully drive out the remaining Fire Nation citizens. Unfortunately, this is precisely what Ozai predicted would happen, making Zuko lose his path completely as he rides out to meet the forces of the Earth King. Evidently, this is exactly the kind of scenario in which Aang is supposed to unalive Zuko. But this is Aang we're talking about, and just thinking about killing someone sends him straight into a mental breakdown. For quite some time he's really struggling over what to do. Ultimately, Katara helps him realize that strictly separating the nations is not the kind of harmony to aim for. Not lastly, since it would be quite the huge contradiction to him and her dating. They arrive at the conclusion that the colonies can't go back to being Earth Kingdom cities, while they can't stay colonies either. Instead, they must become something new, a place where the different people can live together in harmony. Fortunately, when the Earth King arrives with his army, Aang can convince him to stop this madness, making him realize that by attacking the colony, he'd be attacking all 4 nations simultaneously. And with that, everything's cool again. Zuko even apologizes to Aang for forcing him to make that ridiculous promise that was basically his way of pushing the choice between right and wrong on Aang. He's come back to his senses and figures he'll need some time to come to terms with himself and his new position. In that context, he resorts to his final means of finding his mother, as he considers meeting her useful to his development. He asks Azula for help, thereby setting up the plot of the following comics. Anyway, now to the important stuff. Toph opened a metal bending school, and Iroh invented bubble tea. Subscribe for more Avatar, cartoon, and anime content. Stay safe, don't promise to kill your friends, see you next time.